Poverty. Poverty is the state of being extremely poor. Did you know that worldwide 600 million children are living in extreme poverty? They almost never have anything to eat and are very skinny. Almost half of the world lives on less than $2.50 a day. 1.6 billion people live without electricity. The poorest 40% of the world's population accounts for 5% of global income. 22,000 children die each day due to poverty. One child dies every 5 seconds due to poverty-related causes. More people die of hunger every year than from AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis. Almost 1 billion people regularly suffer from hunger. Most are women and children. More people die from hunger than in wars. Are these facts you can face?
People have started to acknowledge this problem. The European Commission has stepped up its campaign to combat global poverty by adopting a communication aimed to support its Sustainable Development Goals, working with international partners. The communication will contribute and shape the EU's position around international negotiation on Sustainable Development Goals and will act as framework in eradicating poverty from 2015 onwards. Did you know if Americans gave 4 or 5% of the GDP to charity and philanthropic causes, poverty would be wiped out? According to Ronnie Miles, founder of Philanthropy and Philosophy, an organization created to raise awareness about charitable giving. Currently, Americans give only 1 to 2% of GDP to such causes. Miles said that he is engaged with healthy people all over the country who say they do not give their money to charity because they do not believe it's actually getting to poor people. If people donated more, like Miles said, poverty could be eradicated. In Paris, starting June 6, 2014, activists worked to alleviate poverty worldwide and give a guarded welcome to the renewed commitment to development the G7 leaders made during their meeting in Brussels this week. The group of industrialist countries, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States, normally known as G8, but currently without Russia, stated that the pursuit of sustainable and inclusive development and the greater prosperity in all countries remains a fundamental commitment that unites our people and our countries. According to the government leaders, the post-2015 agenda should be centered on people and focus both on eradicating extreme poverty and promoting development on balancing the environmental, economic, and social dimensions of sustainable development, including climate change. Unless people living in extreme poverty who will be affected by future development goals are able to participate in their creation and implementation, any progress made risks leaving the most socially excluded and vulnerable members of society behind.
Two of the laws or policies pertaining to poverty are the Global Poverty Act and the Child Poverty Act of 2010. Did you know that there are laws that punish people for being poor or in poverty? But not to worry. There is a national organization, the National Law Center on Homelessness and Poverty, that battles those laws.
Blue means no water scarcity. Red means physical water scarcity, or because of their locations, this area doesn't get water. Pink means that the area is approaching water scarcity. Orange is economic water scarcity, and gray is uncharted.
As you can see, most of the countries in Africa and some Mediterranean countries don't have access to water. Can you imagine being dirty for weeks at a time and not having any water to drink for days in the heat?
The US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and South America do not have these problems.
There are many causes of poverty, and most can be fixed. Lack of education is one. People who do not have a good education cannot get a good job to support themselves. To fix this, all children should be put into schools, no matter where they were born. Diseases are also a problem. Poor people will fall into poverty because they will not be able to pay their medical bills or are too sick to continue working. Overpopulation, natural disasters, and unemployment are other causes of poverty. There are many ways we can help stop poverty. A lot of water sources in poor countries are dirty, and people can get sick from drinking infected water. Making more clean water sources available to them will solve this problem. It is also a problem that many children are uneducated. Building more schools and making them closer to where kids living in poverty are will help these children to grow up with an education to help them get a job in the future. Another issue is that many poor communities do not live in a close range to a health clinic. By building more medical centers, people can treat their illnesses right away before it gets out of hand. Even if you aren't living in poverty, you can still help. By donating to organizations, you will help poverty-stricken people get the things they need, like more clean water supplies, more opportunities for education, and more medical centers.
There are many organizations that help end poverty. For example, the Health Poverty Action helps people who are unable to support themselves with health care. They also work on helping people get better nutrition, water, sanitation, immunization, and income. Another organization is the Mercy Corps. This organization exists to alleviate suffering and poverty by helping people build secure, productive, and just communities. It works to end disasters, conflicts, poverty, and instability. Since 1979, they have been provided $1.5 billion in assistance. It is supported by the headquarter offices in North America and Europe. The last organization that we found is the National Law Center on Homeless and Poverty. The National Law Center is the only national group dedicated on eradicating poverty.